are now listening to Lauer Road Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Yeah. Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Let's get it.
What?
At Tenira, when the walls fell. Jeez, this is Dan coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, Jason, wearing 2 shades of red. It's disconcerting. No one likes it. It's not a good look.
I lost my blue hat. I can't find it.
Can you have a black hat somewhere? Do you got
the
anything?
dog ate the black hat.
Charcoal gray hat.
I mean, anything but that. Those 2 colors together make me cringe.
Should I take the jacket off?
It would be better. Yeah, it's
There.
okay.
Is that
All
better?
right.
Is that better or worse?
I don't know.
You know, I'm upset that you're wearing a
It's
shirt under.
It's a lateral move. All right, Harrison's here. He's running the sound equipment. Preston, the information czar, is back. And Jesse is also here wearing a shirt that is showing a little bit more chest hair than I would like.
Harrison, put the camera on me.
He's got the gold chain and the chest hair.
He's got the
Well, it's
chain.
the silver chain
And the Benjamins.
gold ring,
Is
Yeah.
it
and the Benjis.
with the shoes?
It's silver.
Are those Benji jammies?
I
don't know if I feel comfortable.
It almost
doing
looks like a
this.
pajama top.
Yeah. Like a woman's pajamas.
yeah. Listen, it's comfortable.
It was Goodwill.
The button, no, it wasn't. I bought it brand new with tags on it. I saw it.
That's
and I was
worse.
This is great, but I mean, I don't know who wins the competition here,
You look like a James
Me.
Bond villain.
or Jason.
Listen,
I'm showing more chest hair, so I think I win.
that's true.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Well, anyway, so we're all here.
Well,
and
hold on. I was gonna say something.
Come on.
They don't call me Jesse Money Shrake for no reason.
And by they,
I mean me 4 seconds ago.
okay,
Oh, okay,
So-
yeah. Nobody's ever said that.
literally.
I mean, I just did.
we remember when you had
It's
that
a
thing
thing.
about can you say like 4 or 5 words together that no one has
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
said?
Jesse Money Shrake.
Yeah.
So what's the money pitch?
Okay, so here's the thing. Jason just informed me before the show that if the show received $5,000, we could. I think you said infinitely improve it.
I said for every $1,000 we could infinitely improve the show.
Okay.
So $1,000 would improve the show. $5,000 would be 5 times more infinitely awesome.
So we've never done this before,
No.
but we're coming to you. I'm going to look right at the camera and say, this is an Arthur Vining Davis Foundation show. That's what they say at the beginning of those PBS things. Presented by the Arthur Vining Davis Foundation. I don't know who
Arthur Vandelay.
I don't know who Arthur. That's Art Vandelay.
Oh.
Anyway, we can only have a show because of the faithful
Because of viewers like you.
viewers like you.
Yeah.
Where did the camera go? You took it off of
it
me.
was on me.
Back on me. Thank you. Because of viewers because of viewers like you, this show has been made possible. And if you want to see more fine content like this,
Smash that like button.
if you
And give us money.
if you want to see more content like this, then don't give us any money. But if you want to see a better show than this, then we're only asking for $5,000
or 10.
or 10. But what we're asking for, camera back on me, thank you. We're only currently asking for $5,000.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not going to send the money back.
No.
If you send us more.
No.
But we're telling you $5,000. Then all of a sudden you're going to get a brand. It's going to look better.
Oh, it'd be
it's gonna
almost
sound better.
Almost like Crowder.
It'll basically be Crowder, but even better. So we did want to start off with that today and just let everybody know. And how can they give money to the show?
On the Cash App.
There's just Cash App.
Yeah,
Lauer
at
Road
Lauer Road Radio.
There's
It's a dollar sign
There's a
Lauer Road
link
Radio.
on the video in the
description.
In the description below, however you're listening to this, there's a link to our Cash App.
Yeah.
$5,000. And
We need 5,000 people to send $5,000.
is that too much to ask?
Or put some cash in an envelope, slap a stamp on it, and send it to my house.
No, nobody said that. That's a horrible idea.
That's a pretty safe way to send it.
All right, Jason, how do we want to start off tonight? I've got some stuff, but, you're welcome to start. I'm feeling gregarious tonight.
Well, I watched Hunger Games with Teddy the other night,
Okay.
and he's 10.
I volunteer as regent. Is that
Tribute.
What she's, tribute.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
volunteer as tribute.
Well,
for
here's
that
the thing.
moment.
I thought that Teddy was going to be able to handle it.
It's a little heavy.
It was a little heavy.
Turns out kids killing one another.
not appropriate for kids.
Yeah.
And so after the movie, I mean, he was quiet. He was eyeballs wide open watching the whole thing. Send him to bed. About an hour later, he comes down like crying. He says, I don't feel good. I thought, So he's either throwing up or...
I showed him inappropriate material that
showed
maybe
him-
I could have seen beforehand was not a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I rolled the dice on that one.
Sure,
And I
sometimes
might
you
have
will.
failed.
Turns out I showed Michaela Lord of the Rings way too early.
Yeah.
Because she said she didn't want to admit that it was
Oh,
too
yeah.
scary for
Yeah.
her, the orcs. And she said she got no sleep that night.
Yeah.
So
I was like 22 when I first saw Lord of the Rings. I was scared.
it's scary.
The orcs are scary.
Orcs are the
So-
Orokai.
So when you go to get the puke bowl for the kid that's getting ready to puke.
You go a bowl? Like a salad bowl?
Well, here's the thing. When we were growing up, it was a large Tupperware bowl that we doubled up for popcorn. I'm just saying.
Extra seasoning.
The popcorn bowl doubled up as a puke bowl.
Yeah.
Did it not?
But that was not a good idea.
No. Listen, I've got a Home Depot 5-gallon bucket. That's what I use
That's
now.
appropriate.
It's the toilet bucket, too.
The toilet bucket.
When it gets clogged. The hot water thing you
Yeah.
told her-
No, I do that. Yeah.
Literally.
Do you do that now?
We talked about it the other day. Our toilet wouldn't flush, and I'm like trying to get a better plunger, and somebody's like, "Just do the hot water thing that Jason said." I'm
Yeah.
like, that was on the podcast. Like,
Did it work?
A year and a half. I don't know. I didn't try it. I got a better plunger.
No, it totally works.
It does work. I mean, it doesn't fix every problem.
No, but it will flush the system out, and it works really well. That's what Estelle does,
Sure.
Instead of plunging, you just
Maybe
dump some
maybe
hot water
we
on
should
it.
just buy a Stella poop knife and then
The poop knife is still the grossest thing ever. That's so
Well,
gross.
yeah.
I can't imagine.
I mean, I can imagine.
I
it,
can.
but
I just don't know if I
wouldn't
can do it.
No, I
don't
wouldn't
know.
do it.
So, anyways, so I got Teddy the 5-gallon bucket, and he did not puke.
No.
Which makes me think it was,
He was
a
scared.
scary thing.
Sure, that'll
So-
happen sometimes.
So if your child is under the age of 12, it's a PG-13 movie.
It is.
Maybe wait till they're 13.
that might not be a bad rating.
I didn't
It
realize
might
that.
be an appropriate rating.
Other than the killing, it's not that bad of a movie.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
So that was my weekend this past weekend.
Well, my week was filled with my Tuesday was interesting. First of all, Michaela is visiting her cousin in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And
Where
so
weed is legal to smoke.
weed is legal to smoke. Isn't
And
it
eat
legal
and
here?
edibles.
You
Like
have to
for
have a
I mean,
medical.
basically, yeah.
reasons.
I don't think you're going to get in trouble for it.
No.
Right? The cops gave up on that one a long
A
time
long
ago.
time ago. We're a sanctuary city.
You know what they didn't give up on?
What?
Illegal Suboxone. I learned that in my court case.
I don't know what that is.
So I found that one out.
Illegal Suboxone?
Suboxone. It's an
He
over-the-counter.
sounds like a European basketball player.
So Suboxone is the name of the drug, but illegal. Like it's an over-the-counter thing.
Oh,
but
I
you
thought that
can
was the
get-
guy's name.
There's like a
Illegal
street
Suboxone.
name for it, but I don't know what it is. So anyway,
Speed.
that's something I am allowed to talk. I was.
Did you ask, Mr. Prosecutor, could
Yeah.
I please discuss this?
I have some questions.
Is this called angel dust?
I was what's the word I'm looking for? I was admonished that I was given a strict admonishment by the judge to not talk about this until it was over.
And is it
then
over?
Once it was over, he
Yeah.
said, I now lift the admonishment. And the weight that came off my shoulders, I ran outside and shouted it to the streets.
He's guilty!
Everyone,
Guilty!
he's so guilty. So
He had amoxicillin.
So anyway, So first of all, I wake up. I have to take my daughter to the airport. Well, first of all, I get a thing in the mail that says I'm
Jury duty.
in for jury duty until May 1st. I'm on the list. Oh. So I'm like, okay. So then I get this thing that says show up at court on March whatever the day was.
Was it
on
from Ray
Tuesday.
Grogan?
Yeah,
Local-
Ray Grogan was the prosecutor.
Yeah.
I like Ray. Good guy.
Ray's a good guy.
I like Ray.
I'm friends with him on Facebook.
I voted for him. So, anyway. So,
he should be our state
listen,
attorney.
I do like Ray.
Ray's a great guy.
Have you met him?
No.
He was good in court. He was very good.
Do you suppose he'd come on the show?
No. There's no way.
Ray Grogan? Are you kidding me?
He is.
His name sounds like Joe Rogan.
Yes.
Ray Grogan.
You know what? I never thought about that. All right, I'll ask him.
If we say it fast
So,
enough, people might think it's
We're
Joe Rogan.
basically best friends because he picked me to be on the jury. So whatever. I mean, I don't know. I was like 50 people were there, and I was one of the game. We're ahead of the game. We're ahead of the game. So
I've never been asked to be on a jury.
Well,
can you believe that?
You're on a list somewhere for sure. There's no doubt about that. So I get this thing in the mail. All right, so I got to show up. So I've had this before, and then I call the night before, and it says your trial has been called off. You don't have to come in. And so I was assuming, okay, this is what's going to happen.
It's like a snow day.
Yeah. So yesterday I made the call, and they said the trial's still on. Show up. I was like, "Argh." And I had to wake up at 3:00 in the morning to drive Michaela to the airport.
Yeah.
So I wake up at 3:00 in the morning. It had snowed the night before.
Because your wife doesn't drive?
We all rode together.
Oh, okay.
Why we do that sort of thing, I don't know. I was like, one of us should be sleeping. So anyway, so there
You
was,
even woke up Abby.
So at 3, wake up. So Abby was very explicit. She was like, "Don't wake me up." I was like, "You want to say goodbye to your sister? You want to ride to Columbus?" She's like, "No." So anyway,
but bring me back some McDonald's.
I even walked by Boomer, and he was like, he looked at me, he was like, "I'm not going outside right now." So at 3:00 in the morning, there's snow on my car. I'm clearing. You don't want to be clearing your car off of snow off of your car at 3 in the morning.
No.
I didn't get literally any sleep. When my alarm went off, I was like, I'm awake, like already, because I was so nervous about missing the flight that my body would just not let it. I just wouldn't let myself go to sleep because I was like, I'm going to get 3 hours of sleep. I got nothing.
Right.
So I'm going on no sleep. I drive at 3:00 in the morning all the way to the airport, all the way back. That's an hour both ways. And then I get back and I have enough time to like fall asleep for like an hour at home before I got to wake up and then go to the court. So I wake up and I go and I'd never been in the building, so I didn't know which door to go in. I tried every door before I found the door that I was supposed to go in.
The county building?
The county building.
Or the courthouse?
The courthouse. I don't know, the one on Main Street. So anyway, so I'm tired and before I go in, I told Erica, I said, "Could you know if what am I allowed to bring? Can I bring coffee? Because I'm exhausted."
Yeah.
And she said, "It says on here." She looked it up. She said, "You can only bring a water bottle." I was like, "I don't want water. I want coffee."
Yeah.
So
you put coffee in a water bottle.
After I get in and all the way upstairs, one of the bailiffs outside of the courtroom, when he's letting us all know what's going on, he was like, "If you have your water or coffee or anything like that, it's fine. You can bring it in." I was like, "What the heck?" So I was already mad. I was tired. I was exhausted. So
he's going to be guilty no matter what.
Yeah, this guy's going down. So the whole thing felt like a movie from the beginning. 'Cause there were 50 people, I think, something like that, that showed up for jury duty.
Yeah.
And they're going to choose 12 with 2 alternates. And so, of course, I'm looking around this room right before we walk in.
A selection of Marion.
Yes, it was. And it was. It was. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking, oof, man, it felt like I was like, am I going to be in a room with this person?
Yeah,
you know, like I was just wondering, what is this? Some people I was like, I go up. This whole thing was very. I get in. I go through the metal detector, and I see some other people are walking in, and I go for the elevator, and I try to get in the elevator and close it before. And this old lady's like, "Hold on, excuse me, let me get in there real quick." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "I can't believe I got to do jury duty. This is ridiculous." And then, and while she's talking to me, she takes out of her pocket the nastiest, dirty-looking mask that you've ever seen and puts it on while she's talking to me. And then out of her other pocket, she pulls out another mask and put that one
double
over.
mask.
She's double masking it with God knows what kind of
she was going to hand one to you.
She probably thought about it. And she's just making jokes and talking, and I'm like, I'm not even paying attention to her, you know. And so we walk out, and there's like 50 people standing. She's like, "Why am I even here? I don't even. There's more than enough people here, you know." I was like, "Oh God, please don't let me be in the room with this woman. I don't know that I can take this."
You were already in the elevator with her.
So she found her way out of the jury pretty quick. They're like, "Ma'am, you can leave." So I'm looking around, and I'm seeing all these people, and I'm kind of what is this guy? What's he like? What's she like? That sort of thing. And it definitely felt like the beginning of movie. And then as I'm looking around and I'm thinking of all these people, I'm starting to wonder, I wonder if any of these people are fans of Lauer Road Radio. I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, like, do any of it, how many times am I going to get asked for an autograph?
Yeah.
I know it's going to happen at least once
Eventually,
or twice. We're big in Marion.
Big.
We're really big in Marion.
We're on the local news network.
But I will say that
We are.
that's true. I would say that the people restrained themselves. They showed professionalism.
Can I just stop for a second?
Sure.
2 people this week. Were you with me, Harrison, or was it someone else? He was with me. 2 people this week stopped, honked their horn, and waved at me. It's never happened. I did not recognize these people.
Yeah, that happens.
So I'm wondering if they're noticing me from the show.
They might be. I was walking in the cemetery today, as you do.
Yeah.
I like to walk in the cemetery. You ever walk in the cemetery?
I like to run in the cemetery.
Sure.
Jump from tombstone to tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like all black on.
Yeah.
Through the tulips.
So I was
With
walking.
a cape.
And a scythe.
I love a scythe. So anyway, I'm walking in the
sickle?
A sickle? A scythe.
I think it's a scythe.
A scythe.
What's a sickle?
Sickle's small. It's
Oh,
handheld.
yeah. Sickle's easier to handle.
The scythe is really.
that's what
I
it-
have a scythe. It's
I have
here.
a
I have a sickle.
I have a sickle home.
I have 3 sickles.
I have a scythe that it was one that Dad said it was made by our great grandpa or great grandpa. I don't know.
Dead
so,
now.
I think I
he's-
have 2 sickles.
the
It's
scythe.
maybe
the,
like a.
the guy came for
bicycles.
him with the scythe. Anyway, that's not why we're here.
Someone
so-
recognized you in the cemetery.
Well, no, I'm walking in the cemetery. I'm walking with Erica. I have headphones on. Camera back on me, please, Harrison. My Bluetooth headphones have broken recently. They don't work anymore. And I am now currently, when I go on walks, using my daughter's pink over-the-ear headphones. And they're nice, but they're pink, and they make me look funny.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to buy me some Apple AirPods, I would just be all for it. So,
Cash App, Lauer Road Radio.
Cash App, Lauer Road Radio, but you're gonna have to specify that's what it's for. So, because I really need those. So I'm walking, and Erica's walking with me, and we're going on this walk, and there's this guy about I'd say 40 yards away, maybe 50 yards away, just kind of walking in, and as I'm walking, my first thought was I saw him, and he looked, and he kind of like felt like we made eye contact, but he was kind of far away. I thought he was Dale Cramp. He looked like our sister's husband's father a lot from a distance.
Yeah.
And I thought, he's looking at me. Is that Dale? Does he, And as I'm getting closer, I'm thinking, I think that is Dale. I'm not sure. And then he goes like this and points right at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we're still 30 yards away. So I'm walking to, and he points again. And I was like, hey. And then he goes like this, and behind me there was a car, and I was walking in the middle. Hey. And,
Was it Dale?
No, it was not Dale. So that was awkward.
You're like, he's pointing at you like, I just don't want to.
Listen,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
in public. I'm with my wife. Okay, I mean, yes, I'll take a picture, but whatever. I don't know. So yeah, that was very awkward and embarrassing. So he was like, and I was like, all right, Dale, I get it, man. Yeah, cool. Whatever. He was like, I was like, okay. So I'm in the room. I'm wondering how many of these people are fans. Am I going to have to be on the jury? I've never done this before.
Well, I don't think celebrities should be on the jury.
I wanted to make that case. So I go in, and I'm juror number 21, just in case you wondered.
and there's only 12.
Yes. So turns out that they're going to take 1 through 12 first.
Okay.
Okay, and then everybody after that. But when we walked in the room, I mean, 1 through 12, half the people were gone.
Yeah.
So a lot of those seats were empty. So 21's probably kind of already there. And I didn't know any of this. It was just figuring out as I went along. The judge gave us a lot of instructions. I mean, a lot. And
You checked out about 3 minutes in.
I was really trying to focus. I was like, man, I'd love some coffee right now. So I'm really listening to him, and he's talking about the law and about all this sort of thing, and he's asking people questions, and he's got the list, and he's, if anybody in here physically, you feel like you physically cannot be a part of this case for whatever reason, and one guy's like, and I like this judge, by the way, the one guy's like, yeah, I got a ringing in my ear, and I just can't hear very well,
Yeah.
and the judge is like, can you hear me right now? Did you hear this? And he's like, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. And he goes, so you can, though, hear. He's like, but it comes in and out sometimes, and sometimes it gets real loud, and sometimes I can't hear. He goes, okay, all right, but you can hear me now, right?
Huh?
And he's like, yeah, I can hear you. And he goes, well, if you couldn't hear something,
Yeah.
did you know that you didn't hear it?
Oh,
Were you
that's a good
aware
question, yeah.
that you couldn't hear it? He's
Like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's
sure.
around to hear it. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I guess I would know that I didn't hear it. He goes, do you think you could ask if something could be said again if you needed to? Well, yeah, I guess I could do that. All right, everything's going to be fine, sir. So I
Did he
like
make
this.
it?
This guy did make
Oh,
it, much to my chagrin.
I have zero faith in our judicial
Is this Judge
system.
Warner?
Judge Edwards.
Oh.
Judge Warner's not on
Judge
the bench
Warner's
anymore.
long gone.
Oh, yeah. He got in trouble.
Yeah, he kind of like, in fact, Judge Edwards was like, he at one point he goes, he said something about like people making mistakes, and he said just because, this was interesting, he said just because somebody's on the stand saying something
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it's the truth.
Like Judge Warner.
And he said everybody, even, and he goes, and he said, and the people of Marion County know this more than most, that everybody, including judges, can make mistakes. That's what he said. I was like, whoa, burn.
Did you stand up and go, shots fired?
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
I'm voting for you.
So I'd vote for him. I like Judge Edwards in my limited experience with him. So anyway, so he's giving people the, and one lady's like, I got a disc in my back that's just not right, and he goes, well, how often, when does it hurt? She's like, after I sit for a couple hours, I just can't focus on anything after a couple hours. He goes, well, I give a break for every hour and a half, so you should be fine. Next, So, I mean, he was ripping through people.
Yeah, yeah.
And found out that it was a case about drugs. And there was one girl in particular, and she was like, listen, I am a former drug user, and this whole situation is making my anxiety go through the roof.
Yeah.
And there's no way that I could be partial, when
Yeah.
it comes to drugs.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's right what that happens. And, so they got rid of her.
Yeah.
So they got rid of different people. One lady raises her hand, and she's like, I just don't think it's just not my place to judge people. I'm a Christian, you see, and the Bible says, do not judge lest you be judged. And I'm not about to do that right now, So I just don't feel like I can judge. And he was like, you feel like you cannot make a judgment about this? No, I cannot. I do not think that I can.
Why is everyone in Marion from the South?
I don't know. It's just more fun. There is a Southern type. There are a lot of people
It's the
that live in
inbred
Marion
factor.
from Kentucky and
The
West
dumbest
Virginia.
people
There's literally
are.
a place in Marion
Yeah.
called Hucklebuck that everyone in Hucklebuck is from Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's where my father-in-law
So
was at.
these are pretty good impressions. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
And so she says, you see, I'm a Christian, and he goes, okay. And she goes, and she turned to the lady next to her. She goes, I guess I'm the only Christian in here. That's what she said.
I can't judge, but y'all some heathens.
Well, and then I was talking to the lady next to her, like later about that,
Yeah.
and she was like, and I thought to myself, she's like, well, you certainly have no problem judging everyone in this room.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, yeah, this lady, she made it. She was
Yeah,
smart.
of course. Yeah.
So anyway, so they're going through all this process, and I really did not want to be walking in there. I was like, I don't want to be on this jury.
Yeah.
But then I see people starting to get kind of peeled off, and I think I'm going to be one of the last ones. And now
Yeah.
I want to be.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a competition element that is
Right,
in there.
right.
It's like you need me on that jury, And so one lady's like, I'm a hairdresser, and I cannot lose any clients. If I lose any clients at all, I will be in serious financial restitutions, And so that's what she said. It didn't make sense, but
She's
that's
from
what she
Grove,
said.
Tucky, too.
She's from Grove, Tucky. So so it was a whole thing, and they're going through, and then they once they kind of knocked off the original shaft, and they're like, okay, now juror number 2, you go there. Juror number 21, that was me.
Yeah.
Juror number 21. You go to seat number 3. I was like, okay, seat number 3, and I'm sitting there, and he goes, all right, this is it. You're the jury. I was like, and I didn't know. I was like, part of me was happy.
Did they ask you any questions?
No, they did not ask me any specific questions. I mean, they had I filled out a form,
A questionnaire type of thing.
a questionnaire, and I thought my profession might get me flagged.
Yeah.
Garbage
man.
Garbage man. But
I see everybody's garbage.
I was kind of hoping. My best case scenario is that the police officer I might know.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought if I know the police
Conflict
officer,
of interest.
there's no way. But it was
Yeah.
a state trooper. I don't know those dudes. So anyway, so Yeah, so I made it, and I was half happy and half disappointed.
Yeah.
Although I was happy that the bailiff said before we even went in the room, because somebody was like, how long is this going to be? You see, Jerry comes on in 5 hours, and I don't think I can miss it, So he was like, this is like a day and a half. He goes, but our next trial is, he said, it's capital murder. He goes, it'll probably last 6 weeks.
Wow.
How do you get on the jury for that?
Can
I sign up?
If you
No,
you don't get anything.
No, listen, Shelby was on jury duty like a year ago, and she had a murder trial. And
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she was like one of the ones, part of it. I don't know. And she told me she couldn't even tell me, I'm like, I'm your husband. Like, you could
Like
tell
after?
me. Like during.
Oh, during. No, she wasn't allowed to.
Well,
she
she
was
didn't-
admonished.
Well, she didn't tell me anything.
Yes, because she followed the admonishment.
Yeah.
Has the admonishment been lifted?
I don't know.
See,
I s-
my judge lifted the. I remember because it was like
The admonishment has been lifted.
because when he admonished me, and I was
Not just
almost-
you, but all of.
He admonished all of us.
Okay.
And I almost raised my hand. I was like, sir, I got a question. You see, I have something that they call a podcast, and I need something that they call content. So
I like how you give yourself the accent.
yeah, no, it just happened, I don't know. I didn't mean for it to happen. But anyway, so when he lifted the admonishment, I was so happy about that. So anyway, so we go in. It's a drug thing. It's all public record. There's the guy, and he was convicted. Well, I don't know, whatever, accused of having this specific
Allegedly.
drug. Allegedly. Although I saw the evidence. They had it. It was, I think that was evidence, I think that was number 4.
Number 4.
And the state trooper that pulled him over cut it open. It had the red tape on it.
Oh, yeah.
It was like all very official. I was like, ooh. Also, by the way, the judge said, we have notepads that if you want to take notes he said, you don't have to. And he said some would argue that taking notes distracts you, right? And he said, and just because you wrote something down doesn't mean that you even heard it right.
Right.
So sometimes maybe notes get in the way. So I'm not telling you should take notes, but I'm saying we have notepads if you want to take them. And so the jury went to the room before the courtroom. We went to the jury room, and the notepads were on the thing. And the bailiff was like, if you want any notepads, they're right there. Me and one other lady are the only two that got notepads, and she was sitting beside me. She just held it the whole time. She didn't take any notes. I took notes nonstop.
You're right. Guilty. Guilty.
Actually, what I wanted to do was I wanted to
like Bart Simpson style.
I wanted to sketch the courtroom like they always do.
The courtroom sketch artist.
Yeah.
How do I do the same thing but get away with it?
Yeah, I really thought about it, but I was taking a lot of notes because
This person seems dumb.
I was like, and some of them were my thoughts, and some of them were because
I'm starting to get hungry.
Because-
Dear Journal, will they bring us double McDoubles?
Dear diary. So I did write one time, does not seem like a prescription. Because the guy apparently said it was a prescription, but it was all like wrapped up in this like black plastic bag that was like tied off
You
at
don't
the
know
top.
what the pharmacy he got it from.
I've gotten a couple of prescriptions before, and they've never looked like that.
These are street pharmacies.
Well, maybe. Here's the thing, Jason.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed about this whole process because I was locked in. I heard the whole testimony from our friend Ray Grogan.
I love Ray.
I love Ray. I like
guy.
him. He's a good guy. I like him. And I'm not being sarcastic. And I am sarcastic a lot. Ray, if you're watching, you remember me.
He's
I was
not.
juror number 21.
I helped with the conviction.
Well, no, I couldn't
Oh.
twist Jason.
Oh.
So
He
Ray
plea deal.
Ray no. Ray
Admonished you.
talks to the Ray never admonished me. Only Judge
only
Edwards
the judge.
admonished me.
Okay.
So I won't I will not stand for a prosecutor admonishing me. I'll let a judge admonish
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, judge, you can admonish me. I won't stand for it. You're just a lawyer, So anyway, so I listened to the state trooper get interviewed, and I really hope that I can talk about all of this, and I'm not going to go to jail. So I listened to the state trooper. He did lift the admonishment.
Yeah.
I remember.
So we're in Marion, Indiana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
that's
right.
it.
Yeah, Marion, Indiana. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's not Judge Edwards. It's Judge Edison. Yeah,
There's a bunch of Ray
yeah,
Grogans
that's
that
right.
are
Oh, yeah, it was Joe
prosecutors.
Rogan, not Ray
Joe-
Grogan.
Yeah, that's right.
that's it.
Joe Rogan. Anyway, so
Wise guy.
I listened to the state trooper get grilled by Ray Grogan. I mean,
Yeah,
Ray
yeah.
Grogan just he
drew, yeah.
really let him have it.
Laid into it.
And no, he was very congenial. But
Did you or did you not?
I want the truth. And then he was like, you can't handle the truth. And then I was like, oh, I better turn off Netflix. This is loud. So anyway.
Take off the pink headphones.
Is it lunchtime? Am I still admonished? So I listened to him get interviewed, and then the defense attorney, this guy. Yeah, this guy. I don't know about this defense attorney.
I don't like defense attorneys.
I don't like this defense attorney.
What was his name?
No, that's not true. I don't remember his name, to be honest with you. But
was he good?
He was pretty good. Pretty good. He was pretty good. No, he was pretty good.
Okay. Get his number. We might need it.
So he's kind of like I actually might need him for this whole thing. So he was kind of like you didn't see him coming. Like Ray is all charisma.
Oh yeah.
And he's jokes and we're having a good time. We're in court. Hey guys, this isn't CSI, all right? this isn't your judge show. This is real life we're talking about. Hey, I was like, okay, why are you why is the Fonz my prosecuting attorney?
Hits the jukebox.
He's cool.
A leather biker jacket.
Hey.
Is this supposed to make you more likable?
Hey.
It
Just
works.
Comb just
So
Pulls out the hair jelly.
Yeah, it was like Pinky Tuscadero was on his shoulder the whole time. I'm like, none of this seems necessary. He kept on doing this. Now we're on to something else. Anyway, so
Switchblade.
Whoa! How'd you get that through the metal detector? This Ray, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So the defense attorney, then he goes to the state trooper, and he's asking him a couple questions. Oh, okay, all right. He goes, now, did anyone take any pictures? Yes, sir, I took pictures. And where are those? State troopers, nobody asked me to bring them.
Yeah.
I was asked to bring the evidence, and I brought that, but nobody asked me to bring the pictures. At this stage, Ray goes into gear. He pulls out his laptop and he's like, and he's like looking at his laptop. I'm looking at Ray. I'm looking at the state trooper. Looking at the defense attorney. Looking at the judge. I'm like, I'm writing stuff down. I'm like,
Where are the pictures?
I'm thinking about a Whopper right now.
So I mean, it's intense. You know? And then a couple minutes later, Ray asked if he could approach the bench, which was like, I hope
That's
someone
a moment
approaches
right
the
there,
bench.
yeah.
And then the judge is like, we're going to take a short recess. We got a couple things to talk about
In my chambers.
and we don't want, in my chambers now. No, that didn't happen. He excused the jury. He goes, we got to talk, but we cannot. We don't want you to hear what we're going to talk about. So. We're like, okay,
secrets don't make friends.
So I guess so. We go to the jury room.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the official term, but it's the jury room.
Were there snacks?
And now there was a coffee. So there was a coffee maker.
Like a Keurig or like
It was just a standard
like a bun?
coffee maker.
Mr. Coffee.
It wasn't a bun. It was like a
Mr.
Mr. Coffee. It was
Oh.
like a Mr. Coffee.
Okay.
And the bailiff was like, just so you know, in the coffee maker there is coffee. And I've loaded it up and completely ready to go. All you got to do is press go, and it'll go. He goes, but I'm gonna tell you, I was in the Army, and he goes, we make coffee pretty strong, because we need to stay up awake all night long, and so that's how I make it, So just so you know, and I was like, that sounds horrible. So I excused myself, went home, made myself a little pour over, and I came back. That's actually true, but I did that during my lunch break. But anyway. So we're in the room, and the moment we get in the room, one of the guys in the room, he's an older guy, and he's like, I don't know about this because, and I was like, hey, we can't talk. And he's like, what? We can't talk about? I was like, no, we're not allowed to talk about the trial. Like, we can talk about the weather, we can talk about sports, but he specifically said we are not supposed to discuss it. Even
part of
with
the
one
admonishment.
another. That's part of. I took the admonishment seriously.
Yeah.
Apparently, this guy didn't. So he's like, we can't talk about this? I was like, no, we can't talk about it, So he's like, okay. So then the whole conversation then went crazy, and at one point then someone started, and they said, I wonder if this is going to get him. I said, I think it's got something to do with the photographs, but I was like, but we can't talk about it.
Where are the photographs?
Where are the photographs? So, and I found out the rest of the information later, but then they call us back in. We go back in, we sit down, and when the bailiff came to get us, he's like, if you have your coats or anything here, go ahead and take them with you. We're going to go back into the court. And I was like, he told us to take our coats with us. We're done.
Yeah.
So we go back in, and the judge declares that it was a mistrial.
Ooh.
And then he lifts the admonishment. And then he says, if you want to stick around and talk to me afterwards, I'll be available to talk. If you have any questions about the case, I can answer. I'll let you know what you need to know.
See, he said that to the jury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I appreciated.
Yeah.
He said, or anything about this building. He loves that building. He talked about it a lot.
Did you see they found a secret vault?
It was apparently in his office.
That's awesome.
I know.
Like documents going back 100 years.
Yeah.
Or longer.
Yeah. But then I found out later from someone else who was in the courtroom that apparently they couldn't find the pictures.
So Joe Rogan screwed up.
The trooper.
Or
Well,
what's the guy's name?
Ray
Ray
Grogan.
Grogan.
Well, I don't know if he's the one that screwed up or
Well,
not.
the prosecutor brings the evidence.
But the state trooper called it in, and okay, I'll get the pictures, and they said we don't have them. We don't
So the
have
pictures are gone.
The pictures do not exist.
Wow.
So either A, the trooper was lying about taking the pictures,
Yeah.
and he planted the evidence
Yeah.
or something, or B, somehow the picture. He's like, I remember taking the pictures, and I remember
They
them
got
sending-"
deleted somehow.
But somehow, and the people at the whatever place that they go to was like, we don't have any pictures. They're
Wow.
not here. So,
This guy's off scot-free.
Or
mistrial.
Or someone that worked for the police department was related to the guy that was being charged,
Yeah.
and they went in
Conveniently.
And deleted it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was.
We got a drug dealer walking around the streets.
Yeah, this guy's not a drug dealer.
No.
Suboxone is a medicine that you take to get off of drugs.
Oh, so you're doing him a good thing.
It's a level 3. Apparently, there's
I don't know what that
5
means.
levels of drugs.
So it's right in the middle.
That's that is addictiveness level. Apparently, you can take enough of this that you can get high. Like
Yeah.
if you just overdose on them, you can get high off of them. But I choose to believe, because here's the thing, Jason.
Yeah.
This guy, he's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, this guy's innocent.
Who are you
Even
to
though he
judge?
kept on looking at me and going, I was like, I don't care. He's innocent.
Yeah. The law says.
The law says. I learned a lot about the law.
Yeah.
I learned about circumstantial evidence. Did you know circumstantial evidence is admissible? In the they always go,
I
objection.
object. Yeah.
Circumstantial.
Overruled.
Or whatever.
Sustained.
Circumstantial evidence. And actually, our friend Ray Grogan.
Yeah.
Once again, Ray, if you want to come on the show,
We'd love
to have you. But either way, we're big fans. So
You got our vote.
I'll vote for you again. I liked him.
Yeah.
So Ray was talking to the whole jury about this process, and he was explaining. And he was like, sir. And he looked at me. I was like, oh, it's my turn. I was like, yeah, what's going on? I want to play cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, this morning, he goes, do you park your car in a garage? I said, no, sir, I do not.
I most certainly do not.
I don't appreciate the insinuation that I even have a car. So
I rode the trolley.
so he said, he goes, this morning, did you clear snow off of your vehicle? I said, yes, sir, I did. And he goes, and did you see the snow fall last night? And I said, well, I looked out my window and I saw snow coming down, but I didn't watch it all night. No.
Yeah.
He goes, so when you saw that snow was on your car, did you make the assumption that it snowed last night, even though you didn't see it snow? He goes, do you see that as evidence that it did snow? And you know what I said? I said, circumstantially. I did say that. And he was like,
He's like, you're getting called in for lots more jury duty.
I was pretty proud of myself. I was like, circumstantially. So, that was exciting.
Well, if you were an eyewitness to the snowing, it snowed.
That's not circumstantial. That is the other kind.
But an eyewitness, you are the eyewitness. You know it snowed because you saw it snow.
Well, in my case, yes. But if I didn't see it snow the night before, like if I didn't look out my window and saw it snowing, and I walked outside and there was snow over all the cars, circumstantially, I can deduce that it snowed last night, right?
But you did not witness the snow.
Although I did not witness it, it's valid evidence that it did snow. In other words, Jesse, let's say you make a cherry pie, okay?
Ooh.
And Jesse tells me, Dan, come over to my house. I made a cherry pie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love cherry pie. I'm excited to come over. And I go over to Jesse's house, and there's a pie tin
yeah.
that's empty, and Jesse has cherry pie all over his face.
Yeah.
Now,
As I do.
This would not be the first time.
this will not be the first time. I can, although it's circumstantial, I can deduce that Jesse ate my cherry pie.
Yeah.
See how that works?
Yeah.
So that is all part of the jury's job. It's a serious job. It's so serious
Now,
that
if he licked his fingers, then you saw him consume some of it.
Yes, but I just saw him consume what was on his face. I don't know that it came from the pie. Someone else could have eaten that pie.
I got you.
But
I could just smeared the leftover cherries all over my face.
and that could have happened.
Savannah ate the pie. I just smeared it on me.
Yeah, but see, I can use my brain and say, chances beyond a reasonable doubt, Jason, and that's what it is.
I was going to get gross with that.
It's
but
not the beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
I don't have to convict this fella
You
beyond the
conclude.
shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Just beyond a
Circumstantial.
reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I follow.
So I was ready to. I hadn't made my decision yet, and still, I wonder what happened. I'm not saying the cop is crooked. I'm not saying that. I would not.
He was a state trooper.
He was a state trooper, and I don't know those guys, but but something happened there,
Yeah.
and there it is.
Earlier in the beginning of this, you said you didn't know what the street name for Suboxone was.
Mm-hmm.
So I have several.
Okay.
Big Whites.
Oh, big whites.
Bo-
See, these
Boxes.
these were orangish.
Oranges. The oranges is one.
Yeah, these were
Okay.
orange.
Sobos.
Ooh, I like
Stop
a Sobo.
signs. Subs. And my personal favorite, Boops.
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 B-U-P-E-S.
Bro,
Boops.
what you got in that black bag? You got some
Boops.
boops for me?
Got
Can
some
I get a boop?
boops.
Can I get a boop here?
All right. Well, apparently it's
Okay.
it's enough to get you in trouble.
So, do you want to sing the Netflix suggestion of the week?
Netflix.
We just gotta get to the
Maybe I should do it as Bob Dylan. I wish I had my guitar with me. What's your songs on us? Netflix. Maybe. All right, there you go.
Okay, so my Netflix suggestion of the week
Is
found on YouTube. It's the video I sent you
I have
last
not
night.
had a chance to watch it.
Okay.
I don't have time nowadays because I'm in the jury room all the time.
This is 30-Day Survival Challenge, Canadian Rockies, the movie.
Okay.
And so this guy,
Is this a guy filming this himself, or is this an actual production?
it's a guy filming it himself.
Okay.
And Shoeless Joe sent me this. Friend of the show,
yeah.
Shoeless Joe.
Shoeless Joe.
Shoeless Joe sent me this, and he
You
said,
know Shoeless Joe. Do you follow him on Be Real?
I think I do, yeah.
Yeah, I do. This guy. I'll tell you what. This guy. I don't know if you knew this, Jason.
Yeah.
Do you know what he does for a living?
Garbage Man.
He's a pastor.
What?
Yes. And every time his Be Real, he's taking a walk. He's at the pond. He's
What's
you
he
know,
do?
going, I'm like, what do you even do for a
I
living?
hate those guys.
You know what I mean? This guy's, I'm like, yeah, must be nice, Joe. Must be nice. Some of us have to work for a living.
I got to wake up every day at 3 o'clock and get garbage.
Yeah.
It's my job.
So,
Garbage
anyway, good for you, Joe. I'm glad that you don't have to have a real job, but there are those of us.
Well, he's no longer youth pastor.
yeah, right. He's the lead pastor. Yeah,
What does that mean?
He's the one from Toadsuck,
means-
Arkansas.
means-
isn't he?
Toadsuck, Arkansas.
means
yeah.
more golfing is what it means, and less actual work.
Do pastors work?
No,
I'm convinced they don't.
no, they don't.
They go to jury duty.
They become pastors because they don't want to work.
Hey, there's a possibility. Well, there's a possibility we have an inside lane
Okay,
about talking to a producer of The Chosen.
I'll do. I
Would
love
you-
The Chosen.
Would you do that?
I like The
Have
Chosen.
you seen it?
Yes.
I haven't seen it. Have you guys seen it?
I have
I've
not.
seen a few episodes of it. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I went into it thinking, oh boy.
Yeah.
This is
Every
not gonna-
Christian anything I
this is
do.
not gonna-
Yeah.
I'm Jason. I'm telling you, honestly, it's
Yeah.
very good.
Okay.
I have almost. I don't think I've fully cried, but I've at least welled up on every single episode.
I gotcha.
At least I've
Full of
welled up.
emotion.
I haven't bawled. I haven't
Weeped.
blubbered. I haven't wept.
Yeah. Jesus wept.
Jesus did wept.
Yeah.
John. I think that's John.
14, 16.
Is that right?
It's close.
That's close to it.
Yeah.
That's close.
I knew one verse growing up, and it was Jesus wept.
And Proverbs 26:11.
Yeah. So we actually do have an inside track to make that happen.
I would love that.
So
Is it Dallas? It's not Dallas. He's like the main guy that does the
I don't
show.
know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
It's a friend of the show's brother's best friend.
Honestly, I would love
So-
to interview him.
Okay, yeah. So I think maybe we'll figure out some type of Skype or FaceTime or something like that. Unless we can get him to Marion. And then Marion, Indiana.
Marion, Indiana.
yes.
Joe Rogan or Greg Rogan. And he'll sit right here.
That would be awesome.
Okay. So anyways, we'll try to make that happen. So anyways, Shoeless Joe sent me this YouTube
I just
video.
want to find out what Jesus is like in real life. That's what I want to. It's the first thing.
The
I'm gonna
first
ask him.
question. So tell me what Jesus is really like.
Like behind the camera.
Yeah. When the cameras go off, what is Jesus really
What does he
like?
eat from the craft service table? Does he always break it and share it? Or
Has
does
he
just,
have you seen him multiply food, or is that circumstantial?
Yes. Does he, when he goes for a swim in the pool, does he just hover over the water? Or does he really get in there? You know?
Is it like ice? Is it like he's walking on ice?
Uh-huh.
Is that how it works?
So
What happens when he tries to cannonball?
if this guy sees
Don't
this,
show him this.
or any of our other episodes.
He got to come in with a clean slate. This is a Christian podcast.
Yeah.
These guys, they love Jesus.
We're friends of Joe Caminetti Jr. So if that gets us anywhere, right?
Bada bing.
Junior. I want to
Junior.
specify.
Junior. And the third.
And the third.
Joey.
Joey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey. Big fan. Of
Bigger
this
fan
show.
of Joey.
I love Joey.
And his sister.
If things go wrong for me, one day there's a good chance I'll work for Joey. I'm just saying.
Joey the third.
The third.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
If someday, I'm
Joey, save a spot for us.
I'm just
I'll clean the floors.
I'm staying on
I
Joey's
mean, whatever.
good side.
I'll set chairs up.
Because if things don't work out for me where I'm at now, I believe Joey might give me a job. So, anyway, what are you talking about?
The YouTube. It's a 30-day survival. So this
Okay.
guy, he goes in the woods with this other guy, and this other guy's like
As you do.
as you do. This other guy's like a survival guy, so he knows the local habitat, the different plants and stuff you can eat. And they hike up in the Rockies, Canadian Rockies.
The Canadian Rockies. Those
Canadian
are no
Rockies.
joke.
And it's excellent. It's really really
Okay,
good. It's
I
like,
really do want to watch it, but
it's like 2.5 hours long, and you want to watch it from beginning to end.
That's usually the way I watch most things.
Well, you don't want
Watched
to
it at the
stop.
beginning.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Just one complete
Just
watch.
like the way you would an
movie.
extra large pizza.
Just the beginning to end.
It's like why eat a little bit.
yeah.
If I'm started, then I'm gonna finish.
So this guy actually has a bunch of these types of movies or shows, but this particular one was really really good.
Okay.
So, what's your Netflix? suggestion?
My Netflix suggestion of the week is the latest season of. I mean, I'm sure we're all caught up on it.
The Chosen.
Blue Bloods. It's amazing. It's so good. Jason.
Tom Selleck.
Tom
You're
Selleck
talking
is
Tom
like
Selleck.
a fine wine. He only gets better with age. And this show every year.
I heard they had one of his Magnum PI co-stars on recently.
Who?
Like the other guy in the Hawaiian
Higgins?
shirt. No, not Higgins.
Oh.
Another white guy.
Oh, really?
With the thick hair.
I don't know. I don't
They
know
all look
Magnum
the same
PI
to me.
very well, but I know Blue Bloods. I've seen every episode.
Twice.
And, whenever this is for those of you who watch Blue Bloods. This is my impression.
Spoiler alert.
This is my impression of Tom Selleck. Every time he gets like news, like there's a lot of times he's the commissioner of police in New York City.
That's
It's
a
big
big.
job.
That's a big deal.
And every once in a while, he gets some information. He's like, he does that probably 20 times a show, and I'm not exaggerating. That's what he does, and I love it. Every time he sighs, it's wonderful. So the newest season, it's season 13 of Blue Bloods. It's been around that long.
With Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg's in it.
Tell me where you fall in the Wahlbergs.
Tom Brady's ex-wife, like Mount Rushmore of the Wahlbergs.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Donnie,
Yeah.
Mark.
Marky Mark.
The other one.
there's
and the
the
other
Sandwich
ones.
one.
The sandwich guy.
There's a sandwich one. There's
And then
Donnie.
are we going to
There's
do
Mark.
Donnie's wife?
Yeah.
Who's Donnie's wife?
I mean, she's a Wahlberg.
I guess.
No, it's somebody famous.
He's married to somebody famous?
Donnie Wahlberg is.
All I know is on the show,
She's attractive.
on the show, he's Danny Reagan.
Look it up.
And-
Where's our?
That's what I'm doing right
and
now.
here's the thing about Danny Reagan.
Yeah.
You do not run from Danny Reagan. He's literally has a perfect he catches whoever runs away from him.
Yeah.
He always will catch.
AKA Donnie Wahlberg.
That
Danny
was
Reagan.
Literally the first thing I typed in his name. Wife was the first thing that popped
Yeah,
up.
of course, because he's got a famous wife. Who is it?
I love Donnie Wahlberg. Well, I love Danny Reagan. I don't know any of Donnie's other work. Yeah, I know he was one of the new kids on the
Ray
block.
Grogan.
Wasn't he one of the new kids on the
Yeah.
block?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Jenny McCarthy?
Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, that's who he's married to?
Yeah, Donnie.
She
Didn't
might
she
actually
famously-
rank before.
Yeah, she's first on
the
the
sandwich
list. She's the
one.
George Washington of the Wahlbergs.
Shit, what's the last thing she's done? I don't know. I
Wasn't
remember
she
she
in the
sat
Dog
on a
commercials?
she sat on a toilet. She sat on a toilet and took a picture once. I remember that. It was like in front of a
I'm
magazine. It was
in
like a
good
big
company.
deal. I did not know that they were married.
Yeah.
I think the last time she was why is she even famous? She was on like an MTV show like 1,000 years
I
ago.
don't know. She's more
good for them.
attractive than most.
More attractive than he is,
Yeah.
and I like him.
You know, Mark has dealerships here in Columbus.
I know. I've
I wanna
thought
go
about
buy a
going to
car
there.
from him.
I just thought maybe if I tell the salesperson, I'm a big fan of Blue Bloods. what does that do for me?
Donnie's brother
You know?
owns his dealership, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Donnie's brother owns this dealership.
Donnie's on the show.
I love the show. What you got? All right. Well, yeah. So season 13 of Blue Bloods, it's as good as you think it is. It's so good.
I can imagine.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating. I love it so much. I'm almost done with Cheers. I've been barreling my way through,
Yeah.
and I can finally start Frasier.
Did you like that crossover that I sent you of the Cheers and Star Trek?
I did like
Next
that.
Generation?
I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
It was Frasier and Star
Oh,
Trek.
Frasier. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Frasier. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Isn't that great?
I'm very excited to start Frasier again because I'm almost done with Cheers. Jesse, you want to talk about Herbs?
I want to talk about her.
Wait, one of you had another Netflix.
No, we didn't.
I definitely did.
He did. He sent
Yeah.
it on the group
As long as
text.
we get to the eggs.
We got 30 seconds.
As
Go.
long as we get to.
So
no,
my Netflix suggestion is Massive Waste of Talent. It
Oh, yeah.
has Pedro, I forgot-
Pascal.
Nick
and it
Cage.
has Nick Cage, and Nick Cage pretty much just plays himself.
Yeah.
Is invited to this fancy party with Pedro, and Pedro's like a secret like drug dealer,
Yeah.
and they're like, he's like trapped there trying to like convince him like, oh, I need your help doing this.
So he's
type of deal.
Nick Cage playing Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and then
fun.
he quotes like his other movies. It's so stupid because it's Nick Cage,
But it's funny.
But it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
like,
So there's this meme going around with them like looking each other in the car,
Yes.
and it's fantastic. I love it.
Yes.
I've
love a
used
good
it
meme.
so many times.
All right, talk about Herb's pickled eggs.
All right, time for our sponsor of the episode.
Don't tell Herb.
Listen, yeah, don't tell Herb. Listen. I have a friend who has quail eggs, and I bought I bought a dozen pickled quail eggs from him last week.
If I needed quail eggs, I would, before I knew this,
Yeah,
I would go to you. I'd be like, Jesse probably knows somebody.
I got a guy.
guy.
I'm getting ready to be a guy. I bought an incubator.
You're gonna
and
be
I'm
a
buying
quail egg
eggs.
guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those quails are going to die in 5 days.
You also have a dog kennel, right?
I do.
These probably don't over the Venn diagram of
Those
that.
dogs are going to go nuts with all those quail
Yeah,
around.
we save a ton of money on food.
All right. Well, sure.
Dog food.
Why not?
So I bought these
What the-
pickled quail eggs.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll give them a try.
No,
They're
those aren't
delicious.
quail eggs.
No,
Oh,
these
you-
are not quail eggs.
You got the quail eggs from your guy.
I got my quail eggs from my guy.
Okay.
They were delicious.
Herb.
I ate a dozen of them in
Is
one
his name
setting.
Herb?
Nope. His name's Ash. And if you need quail egg,
That's
pickled
perfect.
quail
No,
eggs
that's-
in Marion, look up Ash. So I liked them a lot. And I said, hey, do you have more? And he said, well, it'll take a couple of days because I got to pickle them.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I stopped at the gas station last night on the way home.
And you see
And
this-
I see these.
Herb's pickled eggs.
Herb's pickled eggs.
Yeah. We're out of
And-
time. We're at 53
Who
minutes.
cares?
And,
And I bought them.
and you ate one.
I ate one.
Yeah.
And today I was not feeling good for half the day. So I thought that'd be a good idea for me to bring them and that the rest of you try one.
There's no
I'm not
way.
doing that.
Come
I'm not-
on.
No.
I'm not going to
Jason, at
smell it.
least.
I'm
I'm
not
not
going
doing
to
that.
lick
You
it.
should
I'm
smell
not
it.
going to taste it.
Can we
No.
have Preston?
I'm
do
not
it?
going to have a nibble.
If Preston wants to,
Preston.
I'm not going
Will
to.
you
It's
do
a
it?
free country.
For the show.
I'm not
For the
doing it.
show, Preston. Just pop one in your mouth, chew it up, swallow it.
How about Jesse?
it.
You do that
Yeah.
for the
I
show.
already have.
But
and he got sick.
I got
And now he's trying to get
mildly
Preston sick.
sick.
Do you got to work tomorrow?
yeah, I do.
This might not be a good idea.
No,
You know-
it gives him a good reason to call off.
No, that's
So,
a bad reason to
Preston.
call off.
I will sniff
Go
this
ahead.
hardcore.
Yes.
He's going to sniff it.
Nick,
I can already smell it from here.
Just listen. It won't be quite as bad as you think
Herb's
until
pickled
We're
eggs.
really out of time. We need to hurry this up.
Smell
We're
it. Like,
Just smell it. Just smell it. Tell us what it smells like.
Okay. So first, it smells like when you're dyeing eggs, but it's just like
Oh, yeah.
1,000 times worse.
Okay.
Like Easter
yeah,
eggs.
Like
Yeah.
dying
Yeah.
Easter eggs. but-
vinegar, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brett, please eat one, just for the show.
All right,
Come
this
on
is
now.
Dan
Said he was
signing off
going.
for
I
Jason,
lied.
reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, Babu, sit. Good dog.
I've spoken.
9-9.
You guys gotta smell these. At least smell them.
Smell 'em from over here.
Dude, it's